quarterback, you don't have to have just the one.
That's right.
I mean, it sounds like it could be advantageous. I mean, in the Big Ten Media Day, Kofi was saying, like, I almost wondered, Nick Stoner, I don't know how many reps he's going to get.
Yeah.
That wide receiver, no thought about moving him to defense at all. Is there, you want him in this group?
Yeah, no thought at all. He's a wide receiver now. And really, since the day I walked in the door, one thing I wanted to do in that position was build quality depth. Because what happens to play as fast as we want to play as an offense, it helps us when we can rotate guys. And, our guys are convinced that if they can go out and play as hard as they can for 4 or 5 snaps in a row, and then come out and catch your breath, and we're going to send out 3 new guys who are at the same level and can go fast for 4 and 5 straight plays. Eventually, we're going to wear down a defense.
You're trying almost like the way to use a basketball analogy. It's almost like a press.
Those 5 guys go as hard as they can. You put 5 new ones.
If we don't get you in the first couple of plays, we'll get you in the 7th.
We're going to wear you down. That's exactly right. And our kids have bought into that. And lucky enough for myself, coming in 3 years ago, 3 seasons ago, we played those guys. They were freshmen and sophomores. Well, now they're juniors and seniors. And so now we're ready to go. Now we have that depth.
I guess how deep do you want to go within a game? Do you want 8 guys, 9 guys playing?
8, 9 would be a lot. That might almost be too many.
Right.
Because at a certain point then, Cody Latimer's not getting enough, if you will. But, if we can go 6 to 7, potentially 8, but 6 for sure, maybe 7 or 8.
What so many people have been talking about Deweese, about just him being back healthy and again and everything like that. I mean, what do you see from him now that you're back?
I see that he's a kid that has a little edge about him right now, a little sense of urgency. I think that he's realizing that his football college career is coming to a close, and for him to have a chance to play at the next level, he needs to put some good film out there from this season, and he's practicing with that hunger and with that desire to get better every single day.
You think you can tell? I mean, does he feel like himself again? I guess is the thing. It seems like almost his career was almost taken from him.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I think he had the injury, and he's come back from that. He's stronger. He's more physically defined than he's ever been. He's running as well as he's ever ran. He's a smart kid. Doesn't say a lot, but he's into it. So we're expecting some big things.
Real quick, as you mentioned strength, Coach Wilson was talking a lot about just the way these guys look across the board and just what strength and conditioning has done for these guys. What can you tell, not only the positions you coach, but across the board, and how much of a difference summer has made for these guys, maybe how much bigger and what they can do, maybe they couldn't do in previous years?
It's better than what it has been. Now, I don't know that we are the biggest team in the Big Ten. I have no idea. I just know, comparing it to the way our kids looked a year ago, we're a lot stronger, bigger, thicker, heavier than we were a year ago, which, Coach Wilson always says the first word in the Big Ten's big, and so we're trying to build a big team. And the kids have bought in, and they're working hard, and our strength staff is phenomenal. They've done a great job.
How are you seeing that manifest on the field so far? And Coach mentioned the fact that receivers are, staying in bounds and keeping up and keeping going and going to hit somebody. Where else are you seeing them?
Their bodies are able to maybe sustain some of those hits and really deliver some of those blows. Where before, I don't know that we were doing that.
Right.
Our offensive line, they're coming off and they can move people vertically now instead of having to go sideways. Our linebackers stepping up in the hole. I mean, just at every position, it just looks and feels better than the last 2 years.
I'm sure you've got a ton of quarterback questions already, basically, but you've had a couple days to work with them. What do you think about each of the 3 guys?
Without going into details of all of them, I think I see 3 guys who are extremely hungry, who are competing, who they know what's at stake. What's even more encouraging to me is they're still supporting each other.
Right.
You wouldn't know that they're all fighting for the starting job. And quite honestly, we're going to need all 3 of them at some point throughout the year anyway. That just happens in nature of the position. But I don't want to go into individual who's doing what, other than they're all progressing. We're trying to divide up reps as best we can right now. But so far, so good from that position.
Overall, mechanically, what do you like? I mean, not necessarily breaking each of the 3 of them down, but in terms of just fundamentally doing what you want them to do.
For us, at that position, we're always going to start with their footwork, number 1. And Trey, obviously, probably being the most athletic of the 3. But Cam and Nate have really done a great job working their footwork in the summertime. So from that standpoint, drops and footwork are in good shape. No one of the 3, no one's dropping the football with their release. It's a nice, high, quick release. So mechanically, I think things are good. I think they're doing a good job using their eyes, maybe a little bit better than they did a year ago. So everything's right on course.
What are the when you finally determine a starter? What are the keys? What does that guy need to do?
They need to move the ball down the field. Period. I mean, I think at the end of the day, the quarterback gets evaluated as if he can put his team in the end zone. And so that's what we're going to look for. And you know that sometimes that's hard on the practice field to always know, are you moving the offense? Just because of how practice gets segmented. And you know we're keeping completion percentage and drops and interceptions and all those things. But really, once you start playing the game, can you put together a drive? Can you find a way to move the ball down the field? So that's number one. Leadership is always a number two. But just that ability to move the team down the field.
Let's go. Let's go.
Awesome.